Today, we will be talking about how unprepared Americans are and why that needs to change. People are less likely to go outside and they hardly go camping anymore. During a disaster, there would be lots of looting and fighting. The easiest way to avoid this is to have prepared beforehand. Have a plan of where you will go if you need to bug out and why. Have a map and know how to use it. But how can you prepare and learn the skills you need? Why should you prepare? Is it worth the risk to just not do it? Well, we'll be talking about all that and more. Let's start with why you should prepare. There are several reasons why people prepare. Let's go over a few of them. Number one, pandemics. The definition of a pandemic is a disease that spreads over a wide area. What is the chance of a pandemic, though? Well, currently only minor influenzas spread rapidly in the nature that a pandemic would. But if something like the avian flu, which has a very low survival rate, mixed with one of these, well, we'd have a deadly fast-spreading virus. It would probably have a 60% death rate. Your life would be pretty much based on a coin flip if you got it. So your main route would be to not get sick. You can prepare for this by keeping a food and water storage so that you don't have to leave your home, and by stocking up on things to help fight the influenza, such as medication, as well as Lysol, bleach, any sort of mask or something to keep the air out if it's going through the air. Number two, natural disasters. What's the chance of a natural disaster? This really depends on your area. There's like Tornado Alley, Ring of Fire, fault lines. But really, earthquakes can be quite devastating, and other things like tornadoes. So, it's really good to have some food storage and prepared supplies in case a natural disaster comes through, which are quite common. For example, during hurricanes or tropical storms, the power might be out, and it'll be good, and you won't be able to go to stores because they'll have everything bought already. So it's good to have a generator on hand and some food and water stored up. Number three, nuclear. What is the chance of a nuclear meltdown or explosion? With the growing popularity of nuclear power and its increase, it's generally been more of a problem. There are roughly 1,500 nukes controlled by 9 different countries, and the 3 main ones that generally dislike us, such as Russia, China, and even terrorist organizations, all have access to nuclear bombs. There are also, I'd say, 61 nuclear power plants with around 99 nuclear reactors in the United States alone. However, there have only been 2 reported cases of nukes being used in history, as well as only 56 meltdowns. This is global. Most of which were only minor things with minimal casualties. Despite this, there are some larger power plant meltdowns and ones that may happen soon, such as the Empire State's Indian Point power plant located in New York, which is considered by many to be the next Fukushima. Not only has the plant been plagued with operational problems, but it sits right on top of the Rampo fault line. Other common things preppers prepare for are solar flares, defined as a brief eruption of intense high-energy radiation from the sun's surface associated with sunspots, which can cause disturbances in power, potentially destroying the entire power grid if it's large enough. Electromagnetic pulses, also known as EMPs, which can destroy electronics as well. Other things, collapse of the economy, World War III, an eruption of the Yellowstone volcano, terrorist invasions, and more. The list is endless. prepared are most people? As I said, many Americans are unprepared, and I will show you just how many people will be flooding those Walmarts and sporting goods stores that you think are such a good idea to run to. "85% of Americans do not feel prepared. More than 1/4 say they don't know what they should be doing in order to prepare. 25% of Americans say they've never made any preparation efforts. How many have food and water and other necessities? Nearly 40% of people say they would only last 2 weeks based on their current supply. 45% have stored food and 43% have stored water. 59% say they believe saving for retirement was smarter than stocking up on resources. 33% of Americans have a survival kit or 72-hour kit, and only 20% of all Americans have an escape plan. So it's clear that less than half of America will be running to the store when any of these events happen. Well, what happens when you run to those stores? Well, with over half of America being unprepared, it's not going to go too well for you and your family. Clean water. Nice. Anyways, as I was saying, 3 questions to ask yourself. Okay, number 1, do you have a tested bug-out bag or 72-hour kit? 2, do you have that will last you stored food and water that will last you for more than 2 weeks? And number 3, do you know first aid and CPR? If you answer yes to all these questions, good job, you're on the way to being prepared. If you answered no to all of them, then you need to get these 3 things done rather quickly. Many people don't take the next step in preparedness and drill and test their stuff. People think they are prepared because they wasted $300 on their heavy and uncomfortable 72-hour kit that they found online. Probably said, best thing you should buy right now. When simply they just got a bad deal on a bunch of junk. And a lot of people think that, I took a wilderness survival course when I was 8 years old, that should be enough to get me through an apocalypse, right? Even though there's no wilderness within 40 miles or so, and, you have no idea what you're doing. It's been 2 years since you've done any sort of camping, and, well, you get the idea. You're not prepared. Let's look at our friend Rob. Rob was a Boy Scout with a wilderness survival badge. $500 on a tactical, military-looking, pre-packed bag. He put it under his bed, and there it sat. But let's say something happened. He needs to leave. He can't stay because his house isn't safe. His car's a no-go since the roads are all blocked. So he goes on foot. Plastic digs into his skin. He has no idea where anything is in the pack, so he can't really get anything, and well, he's not exactly in shape. But he won't have to carry it too far, seeing as there's lots of survivors out there who didn't prepare, and they'd love to take it. Rob should have packed wisely with a custom-made pack that has everything he needs and nothing unnecessary. It would be cheaper, and it would fit him well. The items would not be low quality, and he would be able to find things quickly. He would have to drill and test it. So just make sure you aren't preparing the wrong way, like our friend Rob did, and keep in mind that this Rob fellow was fake. But other people will not be as fake as Rob. Let's look at a real person who did not prep the right way. His name is Tyler Smith, a real person who was on the show Doomsday Preppers. Let's look at a clip of his episode.
When the hits the fan, the people that are going to survive are the people that are prepared to do whatever it takes. Most preppers talk about how they're afraid of the mass people that are going to come take their supplies. We are those people. We are the people that'll come kick your door in, take your supplies, and just leave you behind. We are the marauders. We are your worst nightmare. And we are coming.
Tyler Smith, his wife Katie, and cousin Chris have assembled a group of like-minded, would-be marauders from their neighborhood near Tacoma, Washington.
He's trying to scare you. He wants you to know that you can't stop him. He plans to raid you and kill you for your supplies. He even made his own body armor.
Tyler Smith has spent months researching a way to create what he believes is the ultimate doomsday prepper survival necessity. Full-body apocalypse armor.
Not bad. Grab that metal pipe.
Sure?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll start slow and then kind of build up to something epic.
How was that? Not too bad?
Nothing. Nothing. Didn't hurt at all.
A little tingly.
Try it on my back.
Right there? Up on top?
Nothing. It's pretty impressive. What else do we got? We got a shovel over there? Not so. Hit it, son. Ooh, that feels good. All right, Chris, this is gonna be the ultimate test. I want you to shoot me point blank in the chest with a 12-gauge shotgun. You ready for this? Don't miss.
This doesn't feel right, Tyler. This might be a bad idea.
Just fire. Don't even tell me, okay? I don't even want to know.
Oh, and one more thing. He's also a felon. So all those shiny guns he was showing off in his video are completely illegal for him to handle. All this combined with those things he said on the show, made the police go file for a warrant for his arrest, find him in his home, and took him in. In court, it was revealed that he was indeed breaking the law, and he's now back in jail, right where he should be. This is another example of prepping the wrong way. Now, how can we get the word out about this whole prepping thing? Because, like I said, half of Americans don't do it, and most of them never will. But some of them might, right? Maybe they just never really thought about it before. Well, videos like this are a good start. Another thing might be TV ads. We could fundraise for them and have the Red Cross sponsor them. But what I think a big job we need in America today is survival instructors. We need people who know how to teach these guys of how they should prepare, and they'd have to be professional. And I hope you all see why it's a useful thing to do. A lot of people make fun of preppers, say they're crazy, but really, it's simply insurance.